Hey everybody, this got a new video I'm working on, and this one's probably going to be a few parts. I don't know if I'll be able to do it all in one. I'm working on a farmhouse table with it's as far as I know, it's about 100-year-old wood. It came out of a building that was built in 1924. There were beams in the basement for the floor joists. Uh, they're a little bit rotten on the ends, and these pieces, they cut them out in pieces to get them out and replace them with that, I forget what they call it, the new beams they make out of particle board and regular hardwood. They splice it all together. But this is them. I got most of the nails out of them. I got earplugs in, I might be yelling. I got almost all the nails out of them. This one, I couldn't get all the nails out. They kept breaking. So I've already ran them through the table saw to get them down to almost the finished thickness that I want. A circle where the nail, this is the only one I found that still had some nail pieces left in it. And I knew when I was hitting them, I just went a little slower. It don't look like I messed my blade up. But I'm gonna have to push them out from the other side, and I'm gonna run them through my planer because my table saw wouldn't go thick enough to cut them in one shot, in even two passes, because they were 4x8s, most of them. So I ran it as far as I could, and then I had to take a sawzall and cut them, and cut the rest of the way. There was about an inch and a half down the middle of all of them. I had to cut with the sawzall. So I'm gonna get these nails out of this one. I'm gonna plane this side just so they're flat. That's gonna be the downside. This is gonna be the finished side. Side that's up, there's some imperfections in them. I'm gonna run these through the planer, and then I don't know what kind of video this is gonna be yet. This is kind of like a seat of the pants type video. I want to kind of document the build, but at the same time, it ain't a how-to. I'm not showing you how to make a farmhouse table because I don't have any idea. I'm on the fly with this one. I'm just making a table, and however it turns out, that's how it turns out. I don't have any expectations, honestly. I know whatever it turns out as, I think it's gonna be awesome because I got 100-year-old timber. I got 100-year-old wire, and when it's done, it's going to be, I'm going to eat dinner on it, and it's just like a little piece of history in my house. So, yeah, we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so here I started planing the boards. There was 4 of them. It took me over 5 hours to plane them. They were still kind of wet. You can see the sawdust looks kind of wet. I guess kind of from being in the basement all those years. So they were gumming up the rollers. I had to wipe them off numerous times with denatured alcohol. But yeah, 4 boards took me over 5 hours. I planed them down to 1 5/8 inches. In this next video clip, I ripped them. And what I did was I ripped the inside edge off the 2 outer boards, and I ripped both edges off the inside boards. And all I did to hold this table together was I cut wooden dowels and just glued them in, and then glued them together and clamped them. There's nothing holding it inside but wooden dowels and glue. These are the feet that I'm cutting now, and you'll see what I mean by feet. What I did was put these under 2 stacked 2x6s. I got this huge pile of wood. This is from a farmhouse table. I got the material cut for the legs. We're gonna do 2x6s stacked and then crossed, and I just got like a couple left to plane off, and then all right, so here I'm planing off all the 2x6s that I'm using for the feet and the cross members of the base. All this wood was lumber that I also found on a job site that was heading for a dumpster that windows came palletized in. So this is the main portion of the feet. I glued them together and screwed them together.
and then I cut smaller pieces to put on them to keep it off the ground. You'll see that coming up in a second. But everything was glued and screwed the whole way.
All right, so these are gonna be my feet. These are gonna be the bottom. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it. I already got it planed off. I gotta cut them. They're gonna be 4.5 inches. They're gonna go on these ends. That's actually the top of that one. I like the green. But what I'm gonna do is add a little bit on each end, and then I'm gonna miter that, and then I'm gonna plane it all one more time on the sides, not on the top or the bottom now. And that'll give that a little bit of a bull nose. That'll give that a little bit of a bull nose there. And then I'll start putting my cross braces on.
So this is where we made the X out of 2x6s. And what we did was we used 2 full-length 2x6s, screwed them together, glued them together, and screwed them to the base. And then we cut pieces to fit in between the 2 full ones to make it look like it was doubled up the whole way.
Alright, battery died while we were putting these in, but we got them all in. We got this laid out and put this on. This is the top. This is the tabletop will sit here. Alright, you ready? You put this, put it down like that. I'll put this on. Alright. Pretty close. My line over here is terrible. The thing kept moving. Close?
Pretty close. Pretty close. Alright, so here we're planing the last couple 2x6s that are actually going to be the center support beam. We planed 2 of them down, lined them up evenly, screwed them together, then we cut them to length, and we planed the edges one more time while they were screwed together. That way they were really like a true, like almost 4x6. But they went together good, and you'll see when we put it all together, it really turns out nice. And this again was all scrap wood that Windows had came in, big pallets made out of 2x6s for industrial windows, and I salvaged all this out of a dumpster. Was able to use it to make this table.
Just set that on there for now. Should line right up to that box. Flip it over so that burned out sections down. Yeah. Is it far enough? Close enough? Good. All right, that's the frame done. It's got a couple long screws in there. Got a couple little angle brackets. We're gonna bring the top over and just set it on it. This thing is sturdy as can be. It ain't going. It has no wobble at all. We're gonna bring the top over and just set it on it. I gotta get it in the house so it can dry out a little bit. It's still damp, I guess, from being in that C-van and humidity. Put it in there with the wood stove and a dehumidifier for a couple weeks and let it dry out before I do the resin on the top. But we're gonna bring the top over now and set it on there just to see what it looks like. There's the top on there. The only thing is it's got a little wobble. I gotta take it in the house so it dries out. I'm gonna fill these with copper wire, twist it together so it look like wire strands. But this side's sitting flat, but that side's got a little wobble to it. So I think we're gonna take it in and clamp it, let it dry out, clamp down, and put some brackets on it after it dries real good. Or put the brackets on it to let it dry. Probably wait about a week or two to put epoxy on it. That way I know it's nice and dried out from the dehumidifier and probably the wood stove. And we'll probably bring it back out and stain it and epoxy it. And that'll be it. But it's got a few more hours of work. I have to get all this stuff filled in after it dries out. This is going to get wire. Some of this stuff's just going to get probably maybe black and gold epoxy or something. I got to do epoxy over here. I got to sand it. One of my clamps rusted it. I'm going to do one little final sanding on it and finish it up. So that'll be a whole nother video. This wood's 100 years old. Almost. That building, the plaque on that building's 1929. So just shy of 100 years old. 90 years old, right? Almost 90 years old.